Hey there, I'm back. It's been an interesting week, and remember I had all that stuff I was going to get done this week? Well, so much for that. Welcome back to Rob's Feed Today. This is episode number 103, and I'm Rob Shendel.
Maybe you're a college student living in a dorm. Maybe you just live in a small studio apartment. What you need to do is get over to dormco.com/Rob. Once you're there, you'll find all kinds of items specifically designed for folks living in small spaces. That's dormco.com/Rob.
First off, I like wearing cowboy hats, as you probably know by now. But I'll be wearing one behind the bar tonight. It's Cowboy Roundup night. If you wear one, you get a special price on your drink. Wasn't that long ago I showed you videos of all the snow, everything that hit Chicago, that big blizzard. Well, you know what? It's all gone. We have had record high temperatures, or almost record high. It was close to 60 degrees yesterday. Right now it's in the 40s, but it's only February. It is closer to spring, though, than it is to fall. That's a good thing. But all that snow is gone. Between rain and high temperatures, it's all gone. And here I was slip sliding away. I've only wore my boots once so far this season. I don't need to wear them tonight. So it all started Saturday night. Well, Sunday morning, really, when I got this email asking, as you know, I'm a figure model for artists and art schools, asking would I be available to model Wednesday night. Apparently they had a cancellation. Now, this is a meetup group of artists that previously had told me that, well, they had a full roster of models and they didn't need any more. And here, out of the blue, comes this request for my services, or at least the inquiry of my services. And I responded, yeah, I can do that. I have no conflicting commitment. And then I went to bed, and that was fine. Woke up sick. Really sick. I have been so sick most of this week. And it turned out when Wednesday night came about, the last thing I should have been doing is modeling for an art class. The last thing I need to do is take off my clothes. I filled myself up with vitamin C and expectorant, whatever that stuff is, Robitussin, so to speak. And I actually felt high. And my nasal passages, at least, were dried up. And I didn't think that I had done my best as a model, but they all seemed to think so. In fact, there was a comment on their message board the next day about what a great model they had the night before. Well, that's what comes from experience, I guess. But I have to say, I enjoyed doing it, and it made me a little bit of money. But the combination of being ill and then trying to get myself at least in some sort of shape to perform, that killed a lot of my. First, I didn't have the motivation. I didn't have the strength, nor the desire to get my ass in gear and work at setting up the studio. I did do some of it. I got the major furniture rearranged to accommodate it, but beyond that, and the sad part is, I have all the accessories I need to start using the new computer. I would like to have another monitor. And I'd also like to get more storage. By that I mean external hard drives, because I'm running out of space there. But I have everything I can at least do it now. Just not the strength, the ability, or the time, as it turned out. And now I guesstimate that it'll probably be the week after next that I'm able to accomplish this, because this coming week, I will be traveling. I will be going up to that red-hot state of Wisconsin. And, well, among other things, I'll be going to see a play. I'll be seeing Hair in Milwaukee. And that, of course, that all involves time and planning. And if I'm there, I'm going to have to meet with the siblings, and well, I'm staying with one of them. So I'll be gone at least a couple of days. But let me tell you, so Wednesday I modeled, and at 10 o'clock it was done, and I came home with my new purchase. I had to go to a little different part of town to do this assignment, and so in doing so I planned my trip, combining things at once, and I finally came out of the dark ages when it comes to phones. I am so happy and so thrilled that I, too, this is so ironic that I've waited this long before I got a smartphone. I now have joined the 20th century, the 21st century, whatever this is. And I came home with the phone, charging it up, playing with the app store, and I was up all night using this thing. And I had never made a phone call. I never made a phone call for another 24 hours. I just love it. It's an Android phone. I found the plan. One thing what always bothered me about having web access, or what they call a smartphone, is that it costs so much. And most people say it costs around $100 a month to maintain, just to have the privilege of being able to access the internet on your phone. And that's because the data plan's approximately $35. But in order to get a data plan, you have to put that on top of a talk plan, which is probably $40 right alone. So at the minimum, you're talking about $75 if you got a good deal. My issue is that I probably only use a cell phone maybe 3 minutes a month, and I can't justify doing that. Paying $40 for 3 minutes a month. So I never bothered to get one, although I looked at them with envy when I'd see all my friends accessing all this information. Well, I stumbled across a plan with Virgin Mobile. Now, Virgin Mobile is who I used because they had a good prepaid plan where I'd have the phone, and all I have to do is put $20 on it every 3 months, and I'm not without a cell phone, emergency, or for my wants. But I wasn't paying for, as I said, $40, $50 a month for the privilege. They have a great plan. Unlimited data and text, and 300 minutes of talk time a month for only $25. Of course, you buy the phone for full price. It's not subsidized at all, but that's what I did. And I bought the LG Optimus. They call it V. If you're with Sprint, it's the LG Optimus S. If you're with T-Mobile, it's the LG Optimus T. Same phone. And I really, really love it. The only thing it bothers me about it is that the battery gets sucked up so quickly. I'm not accustomed to that. I'm accustomed to having, because I never use a phone, so I'm accustomed to my battery needing to be recharged maybe once a week. I have to put it in the charger twice a day just to maintain this constant downloading of information. But how I managed to live without it before, now that I've had it 2 days, how did I live without this? I just love it. And the nice thing for me is that I had not planned to do this modeling assignment on Wednesday. I got paid, and that was 40% of what the phone cost right there. So overall, I'm very happy. And the one thing I'm truly looking forward to is that this will better help me keeping up with my social media contacts. I've been kind of embarrassed by the fact that people have been looking for me, saying crowds, or well, in a club someplace, not aware of where I was. Are you here? I got these messages. Problem is, I only got those messages once I left there and came home. Now people can contact me when I'm out and about, and I am. And my social media. If you're on Foursquare, become my friend on Foursquare. Just look up Rob Schendel, ROBSCHENDEL. I've had one check-in so far, and that was the corner store. But I'm looking forward to that. Looks like this could be some fun. Although I was always kind of down on Foursquare because I maybe didn't want people knowing where I was all the time. I'm kind of intrigued with it now that I've got access to it. And speaking of social media, the power of Facebook and Twitter. Now, I've been aware of this for quite some time. I've been said that I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over Twitter. I was. Of all the millions of people on Twitter, I was one of the first 5,000 people. So it really is. So I've been aware of this for a long time. But now recently, what happened? What happened in Egypt? They toppled a government. Peacefully toppled a government because people were organized through social media. How wonderful is that? No bloodshed, no bombs, no the tools at their disposal to communicate with and to organize. And guess what? It's happening here too. I have such mixed feelings about my home state, Wisconsin. But right now, it's incredible what's happening there. Talk about democracy in action. Now, I'll give you a little history there. Wisconsin, like most of the nation, went conservative and elected Scott Walker their governor back in November. Now, I happen to know Scott Walker, and I like Scott Walker. He is so charming. He's fun to be with. I spent like a half an hour with him just being guys. But his policies suck big time. And he no sooner got into the office in January, and he gave like approximately $140 million of tax breaks to his biggest supporters. Now it turns out the state is running on a deficit. I believe it's around $132 million deficit. And he's called out the wolves because we have to deal with this deficit. And he's taking on the back of the working people. So he's proposed as part of his budget that there no longer will be what's called collective bargaining for state employees, with the exception of two groups of state employees who happen to be his backers back in that election. Well, he got a surplus. He came into office with a surplus. Wisconsin was unique in that. Under the good hands of his Democratic predecessor, Jim Doyle, he was handed a surplus, which was washed away by those tax breaks I told you about. Now he's going to make everybody who's a state employee, that's teachers, nurses, firefighters, librarians, police, prison guards, he's going to make them pay for it. No, he's not. Every day this week, the crowd's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. The national media is in Madison, Wisconsin, for this protest. School districts have shut down because so many of the teachers are unavailable. They're off protesting this. He's not going to get away with it. But, oh my God, I am so proud of the people in Wisconsin. But it's bittersweet because, my God, the people of Wisconsin voted this jackass in office in the first place. Please. Now look what you get. Look what happened. My sister's going to be there this afternoon, too. Jesse Jackson has a rally at 5 o'clock. Ed Schultz from MSNBC has been broadcasting from there for the last 3 days. I'm monitoring him right now on the radio. And I tell you, now it's gone mainstream, but at first, the first few people, the first 5,000 people or so who showed up to protest this back on Monday, how'd they communicate with each other? Social media, Twitter and Facebook. I tell you, if you are not on Facebook and Twitter, you're screwing yourself. And when you get on, when you join, make sure you friend or follow me. My name's Rob Schendel, and it's the same on both. On Twitter, you can also follow Rob's Feed Today. And please do, I look forward to our communication. So here we are, a gay podcast, not discussing anything gay. Well, not today. I do that a lot, but it's the ramblings of a gay man here in Chicago. And not all of my life is gay focused. It's just, I interact with people all the time. And I just chose today to tell you about that. And I think on that note, that's all I'm going to say.